By popular request, I've decided to finally do a somatic tracking for fatigue video. So let's get into it. In pain reprocessing therapy, we understand that just like pain, fatigue is also a danger signal that our brain can send us. And so when our brain feels that there's physical damage being done or there's physically something going wrong, it can send that danger signal of fatigue. But also, the danger signal of fatigue can often be sent when we feel an emotional danger. So as you can see, fatigue is a neuroplastic symptom and a really common one that I deal with quite a lot, actually. I think it's probably the most common one I see after pain. And so what's taking place is a similar process with neuroplastic pain. So with neuroplastic fatigue, what's happening is there's a miscommunication going on between your body and your brain. And so safe signals are actually being sent up from your body stating that everything is fine and okay. But the brain, because it's feeling an emotional danger, misinterprets it. It misinterprets these signals and then sends that danger signal of fatigue. And so somatic tracking can be a really useful way to start to reduce our fatigue over time. Because with somatic tracking, what we're doing is instead of avoiding the fatigue, we're approaching it. We're approaching the fatigue in our body, and we're learning over time to actually feel safe with it, feel at ease with it, have a lightness when we attend to it. And it can be a really useful strategy that over time, the fatigue starts to fade. Now, I want to be clear because I'm going to go through a somatic tracking with you all in a second. But again, the goal of doing somatic tracking in the moment is to not make the fatigue go away right away. We don't need to make the fatigue go away. We just need to change our emotional response to it, reduce the fear or frustration around it, and actually feel safer with it overall. And so that's the goal. Now, before I dive into doing a somatic tracking, I think it's really important that everyone follows the process. So just like with pain, if the fatigue's mild to moderate, it's a good time to do somatic tracking because we're more likely to get a corrective experience where we actually feel safer with the sensations and the fear, frustration, or despair starts to reduce. But when the fatigue is really intense or high, we don't want to drop into our body and do somatic tracking because it's going to be too intense for us to have a sense of safety. So when the fatigue is high, that's when you want to use, messages of safety or avoidant behavior. A little bit of avoidance, as I always say, is really useful, and it can be a really useful tool to use when the sensations are really intense. Because it's also, when the sensations are intense, we're also trying to create a sense of safety. So let's try out a somatic tracking for fatigue. And you're welcome to follow along if you would like. So what I want you all to do is just close your eyes or lower your gaze and just start off focusing on your breathing. Just breathing deep into your stomach and making that exhale nice and slow and long. Trying with each cycle of breath to lengthen that exhale as much as you can. And as you do this, I want you all to scan your body and scan for the sensations of fatigue, whether it's a heaviness, whether it's a foggy feeling, or just a sleepy feeling overall that you have. And really identify where in your body you're feeling these sensations right now. Really locate them and notice what they're doing. Notice if they're more localized or if they're widespread, and really describe them in detail to yourself. And with each exhale, it's just like you're dropping into your body with almost this detached curiosity, really being curious and interested in what the sensations are doing. I always think about my cat Harry, or my kitten Harry. When we first brought Harry home, he was probably like 2 months old. He was so curious and interested as he explored the house in every new room, toppling over things, being playful in this way. And that's how we want to drop into our body and explore, is with curiosity and lightness and a sense of ease as we explore the sensations. You don't need to focus too intensely, just noticing what the sensations are doing. And what do you notice? Have the sensations increased? Did they decrease? Did they move or change in any way? Again, it doesn't matter. And almost each time you exhale, it's letting go of the pressure that you have to make this do anything right now, or you have to make the fatigue or the sensations change in any way. We're just working on changing our emotional response to them. And I know it feels like something's taking place in your body right now, and something's going wrong. We often feel this when we're feeling the sensations of fatigue. That's where our brain goes. But right now, all the sensations you're experiencing are just sensations. It's just the brain has misinterpreted them for a long time. It's viewed the sensations through a lens of danger. But it's just reminding your brain and nervous system that we can view these sensations with a lens of safety. Because that's all they are. They're just sensations. And physically, we're completely healthy. And so just keep exploring. But as you exhale, letting yourself kind of drop into your body more and drop into a sense of safety, that you're safe to attend to these sensations and explore them in this way. And as you do this, I always visualize the snow, which I think is fitting right now because there's a whole lot of snow outside where I'm living. And it's kind of like when we're in the snow and it's falling. Sensations of fatigue are very much like this. Sometimes the snow is lightly falling. Sometimes we're in the middle of a blizzard and we're cold and we're shivering and we just want it to stop. And as we do this, we've responded with a sense of danger to the snow falling, just like you would if you were outside and it was cold in a blizzard. But I always think about my 5-year-old son. So when he goes outside, even this winter, he loves to go sledding, stomp around in the snow, just play in it, make snow angels. And he's cold, and he does shiver sometimes. And even once in a while, he gets snow down his jacket, which is really uncomfortable. But he still learned to enjoy and play in the snow, even though, it has this adverse effect sometimes of causing him to shiver and be cold. Sometimes he even tries to catch snowflakes on his tongue. And it's almost visualizing right now, the sensations are just like snow falling. And we can learn to be curious and light and live with them with a sense of safety. And maybe even one day learn to be playful even if they're happening, just like my son. And what we're doing is we're not resisting them anymore. We're learning to live in harmony with them. So just keep slowing down your breathing, attending to the sensations, and just exploring them. And just check in again. Have they increased? Have they decreased? Have they moved or changed in any way? Again, it doesn't matter. We're just working on exploring them right now. And the last thing I want you to do is I want you to scan your body again, but see if you can notice a pleasant or neutral sensation. Just anywhere in your body, even if it's just a small area. And I want you to shift your focus to that pleasant or neutral area and really let yourself lean into it, breathe with it, almost breathing into it, and as you exhale, let it expand. And just really let yourself savor for a moment that sensation. Because this is also just a sensation. It's just we've learned to view that through a lens of safety. And just doing this for a few more seconds, because by leaning into a nice sensation or a neutral sensation, we can also create a sense of safety. And just take another cycle of breathing. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back to the room. So that's one way of doing somatic tracking with fatigue. Now again, typically this needs to be done consistently, and this is just one way of doing it. I want to be clear, you don't have to do it this way. It's more, I want you to go off and kind of explore trying in all sorts of different ways. But as you explore, make sure you follow the process. So I hope this video was helpful. Please put your questions or comments down below. Hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. So safe signals from your body are being sent up to your brain, but because your brain is misinterpreting them and so close. Especially if we feel an emotional danger for a prolonged period of time. Now, so close. In pain reprocessing therapy, we understand that like pain, fatigue is also a danger signal that our brain can send us. Now, that danger signal of